On the morning of April 16, 1947, the port city of Texas City was already alive with activity. Ships lined the harbor. Workers moved cargo across busy docks. The air smelled of salt water, oil, and industry. It was an ordinary working morning in one of America's busiest industrial ports. But hidden among the ships in the harbor was a deadly danger, one that few fully understood. Docked at Pier O stood a large French cargo ship named SS Grandcamp. Inside its steel hull were thousands of tons of ammonium nitrate, a chemical commonly used as fertilizer. At the time, it was considered safe when handled properly. But under certain conditions, ammonium nitrate could become dangerously unstable. That morning, dock workers noticed something unusual. Smoke was rising from the ship's cargo hold. At first, it seemed like a small problem, nothing more than a minor fire. Workers attempted to control it using steam, sealing the cargo hold in hopes of suffocating the flames. But what they didn't realize was that sealing the hold allowed heat and pressure to build rapidly inside. Inside the ship, temperatures continued to rise. Pressure increased, and the cargo, thousands of tons of ammonium nitrate, was turning into a ticking time bomb. Crowds began gathering along the docks, watching the smoke rising into the sky. Firefighters arrived, preparing hoses and attempting to contain the situation. Some even climbed aboard the ship, unaware of the deadly risk they were facing. At 9:12 a.m., disaster struck. Without warning, the SS Grandcamp exploded. The blast was so powerful that it flattened buildings across the port. A massive fireball shot into the sky, sending flames and debris thousands of feet into the air. The explosion shattered windows miles away. People were thrown to the ground. Entire warehouses collapsed instantly. The force of the blast created a shockwave that swept across the city, knocking down structures and igniting fires throughout the surrounding area. Burning metal fragments rained down from the sky. One piece of the ship's anchor, weighing nearly 2 tons, was thrown over a mile away. Fires erupted across the docks. Oil storage tanks ignited. Chemical containers exploded. Within minutes, the port had transformed into a massive firestorm. The explosion killed hundreds instantly, including nearly the entire firefighting crew that had been battling the blaze aboard the ship. But the disaster was far from over. Nearby, another cargo ship, the SS Flyer, was also loaded with ammonium nitrate. As fires spread across the harbor, flames reached the second ship. Throughout the day, emergency crews struggled to contain the chaos. Smoke darkened the sky. Fires burned uncontrollably. Survivors searched desperately for loved ones among the wreckage. Hospitals quickly filled beyond capacity. Doctors and nurses worked non-stop, treating burns, broken bones, and severe injuries. Entire neighborhoods were damaged by the force of the explosion. Buildings collapsed, cars were destroyed, glass shattered across the city. Then, nearly 16 hours after the first blast, a second explosion shook the city. The SS Flyer detonated in another violent blast, sending more debris into the air and causing even greater destruction. By the time the fires were finally brought under control, the scale of devastation was unimaginable. Approximately 581 people had lost their lives. More than 5,000 people were injured. Thousands were left homeless. Entire sections of Texas City had been reduced to ruins. The disaster remains one of the deadliest industrial accidents in United States history. In the days that followed, investigators worked to understand what had gone wrong. They determined that the fire aboard the SS Grandcamp, combined with the massive quantity of ammonium nitrate, created the conditions for a catastrophic explosion. Improper handling, lack of awareness, and dangerous storage practices had turned a routine cargo shipment into a deadly disaster. Today, the Texas City disaster stands as a powerful reminder of how industrial materials, when mishandled, can become devastating weapons. A reminder that safety failures, even small ones, can lead to unimaginable consequences. because sometimes disaster begins not with a warning, but with a single spark. If you found this story informative, please like this video and subscribe for more real-life disaster documentaries from across the United States.